Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of What's in Theaters, a show where we talk about movies, movie news, streaming, and do some trailer reactions. I'm your humble host with the most, Jeremy Stone, with a face for radio and a voice for print. So the early, very well guessed, estimated guesstimates for Avatar 2's The Way of Water opening box office this year. So this is what we got. This is from Box Office Pro, I believe. If I get my cursor right. Avatar: The Way of Water domestic. Oh, I'm sorry. Here it is. Weekend box office domestic 134, global 434 and a half. Now you're probably thinking like 134. That's kind of small for such a tentpole high profile film. Well, I mean, you gotta realize. I mean, we kind of got spoiled by Doctor Strange and Spider Man. You're seeing these like 202, 220, hot, 180, 195. We like the MCU. I think is kind of obscured our our baseline for what an impressive box office weekend should be, and an opening weekend should be. I mean, 134 is still rather impressive, a little bit on the lower end to what we're used to seeing lately, but still it cracked 100 million. And I don't know, I think we see it so much now, we're just kind of used to it, we're desensitized. There's no like that bam impact, because I remember the day when something that would hit 100 million, you're like, oh my god, that's insane. But 434, global for the weekend, this is easily going to cross the $1 billion mark, easily. But I don't know, 2 billion. That's 3 hour runtime. I think that could turn quite a few people off. But let's see. Avatar: The Way of Water domestic 20th Century Studios' long-awaited science fiction sequel. Avatar: The Way of Water had blue characters that saw green this weekend with a 134 domestic and 434.5 million debut. That's number 6 opening for the year, and also the number 38 opening of all time. Compared to its predecessor, it's also 74% above the opening of 2009's original Avatar at 77 million. Well, I mean, another reason is inflation. I mean, movie tickets are more expensive now than they were 13 years ago in 2009. So that also helps with, you know, it making, 74% beyond the original. Playing in 2,202 theaters, it earned a $31,889 per average. That's number 12 average for the year. It's also number 4 wide release average of the year, behind Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Thor: Love and Thunder. Uh, Water's pre-theater average is also 43% higher than the opening weekend for 2009's original. I mean, yeah, it sounds all impressive, but I don't know. I think it would sound better if there wasn't such a 13-year age gap. If it was like 2, maybe 3 years difference between the original and sequel, I think it'd be more like an apples to apples comparison. I view this as more as an apples and oranges because there's such a gap in time, and there's such an increase in the cost of these tickets. It's like, well, obviously it's higher because everything costs more. But that's just my opinion. Let's see. Here's a few ways, Way of Water. Oh, here are a few Way of Water stats and how they compare to the opening weekend for September's re-release of the original Avatar. 3D made up 57% of the domestic earnings, far lower than the original's re-release 93. Jesus Christ. Wow. 3D made up 57%, far lower than the original's re-release 93. I just wonder if it's people are just kind of fed up with 3D and it's like, it's kind of a gimmick, or I don't know. Or maybe it's just the increase in cost. It's like $3 more or whatever it is for 3D. I'll pass. IMAX comprised 12% of the domestic opening, 16.5, less than 0.5% IMAX compared to the original's re-release, 29%. Less than half the percent. Okay. The audience was 56% male, the exact same as for the original re-release. The audience was 60% ages 25 plus, slightly higher than the original's re-release, 57%. The per theater average was 4.2 times higher, 4.2 times the original re-releases, $7,471. And it just goes to do a bunch of other stuff. Let's see. Here's what I guess The Way of Water, domestically, or I'm sorry, internationally, where it did best. China taking first place with 57 million, South Korea with 24.7 million, Germany with 19.9, France 19.3, India 18.1, UK 14.2, Mexico 12.9, Australia 10.8, Italy 10.2, and Brazil 8.5 million. So, well done. Well done on Avatar. I think it could have done better. It could have cracked, at least 150 if the damn movie wasn't so long. Because you figure there's more screen or there's less showings per day because it's only open so many hours. So instead of filling in like 5 showings, let's say a day for a 2-hour movie, then you got a 3-hour movie, and it's like, oh, we can only do like 4 showings a day. Then you're probably thinking, well, what about Avengers Endgame? Avengers Endgame made like $354 million opening weekend. That thing was an anomaly. Because I remember I saw Avengers Endgame. My ticket was for 4 in the morning on that Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, 4 a.m. It was me and I think 12 other people in the theater because I did not want to deal with all the yip yapping, whoa, and let's go. Whoa, that's my boy and all that. It's just, I'm from the older generation. That lingo is not my thing. That's not my jive. But I just can't stand it. To me, like when I was a kid, when we went to the theaters, it was sit down, shut up, watch the movie. I mean, you could laugh at a comedy. Other than that, that was it. Like there was no talking. There was none of this nonsense. None how to the I'll watch YouTube. I'll like Spider-Man No Way Home reactions, and just people are just fucking losing their minds. And some part of me just wonders, is it genuine, or do they kind of know they're being recorded, so they kind of overreact it? I don't know. But yeah, um, Avengers Endgame was the anomaly. But I really think it could have cracked at least 150 if it was maybe 2.5 hours. Because 3 hours, 3 hours and 12 minutes, plus the already half an hours or the 30 minutes that you spend watching trailers when it says movie starts at 7. No, that's when the trailer starts. So now it's like 7:30. Now the movie starts. You're asking your audience for an almost 4-hour commitment to just sit there. And it's not like you can just get up and walk out and stretch your legs. It's like, if I do that, I'm going to kick the person next to me, or I'm going to go out to the lobby and then I'm going to start missing the movie. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like him having that 3-hour movie is kind of a flex. Like, this movie's so great and magical. I had to make it 3 hours. No, you didn't. You really didn't. It's kind of like a dick measuring contest, in my opinion. But, anyways, 134 and 434.5 internationally. Comment down section below. Let me know your thoughts. And always, take care and take it easy.